I want to thank all of you for all of your prayers and condolences this week as we had to say goodbye to my brother, Pastor Lawrence Champion Blake. He passed away on this Tuesday at 6 p.m. There is no way that we as a family could make it through this time without your love and support. So we thank you. Come on, let's give the Lord praise for his life. I've struggled to be able to know how I was going to move into this time of ministry today. Naturally, our hearts are broken. Even now, I'm praying hard to find the words to say to describe how I'm feeling at this moment. Part of me wishes to go away somewhere and not to be seen or heard from or to see and hear from anyone. But I realize that I'm not the only person dealing with these feelings of pain and loss on today. I realize that I'm not the only one that has to deal with pain and loss in life in general. There will be a time when all of us have to face and live through times of tragedy and loss, and my family, as you well know, is not immune to having to deal with that. The Lord told us that there would be times like this. But as a man of God himself, as a warrior of the gospel himself, I know my brother would want me to, and he would tell me to preach the word. He would tell me that there is someone out there that needs to hear a word from the Lord to make it through whatever they may be going through. Even if I'm the one that needs to hear that word on this morning. So just know I miss my brother. Bishop and Lady Mae miss their son. Lady Janine misses her husband. Macy Jean and Larry miss their father. And Charles and Julian and Joseph and Jared, they miss their uncle. My sister misses her brother. Kim misses her brother immensely. And we're still trying to wrap our minds around the fact that this actually happened. I've known women who never recovered from the loss of their child. Women who, even though they were in their senior years, they were never able to escape the pain of a lost child in their youth. Or women who didn't even make it to old age because they simply died of a broken heart. That is a pain that as a man that I will never know, that I never hope to feel as a parent. But strangely enough, when we spoke about this pain that a mother feels at losing a child back then, when the Lord first put these scriptures on my heart to meditate on, strangely enough, when we spoke about this pain back then, it didn't occur to me that I could even or would even feel the same kind of pain and loss as a brother. There have been so many times when I, as a pastor, attempted to comfort the families of those that have gone on to be with the Lord. So many times as pastor and even co-pastor and assistant pastor that I stood in front of a grieving family at the time of a homegoing service. I'll acknowledge how at the moment of their grieving at that time, there would be nothing but pain that that family would feel. I would talk about how that there's very little that I can say or can be said at that moment that can stop the deep sadness that they may be feeling at that moment. I would tell them that there's not much that I would be able to say that would compare with the pain that they were feeling right then when they would think of their loved one's smile. There would be nothing that I could say that could compare with the pain that they would feel when they would think of the sound of their loved one's voice, the way that their loved one looked and sounded when they laughed or when they were angry. Or it would not compare to the sadness that they may feel when they would think of their loved one's favorite food or their favorite song or the smell of their perfume or their cologne. The sound of their laughter or even the sound of their voice when they were yelling at you when you were getting on their nerves. I would say this to the grieving family. I would confidently say that as the grieving family thinks of those things at that moment, there would be nothing but pain at that moment. Then I would continue to talk about how those same memories would one day bring about a different feeling. I talk about how one day, as those that loved the dearly departed most lived on, they would eventually begin to think about those same things one day in the future, and they would smile. I would talk about how those that loved the dearly departed the most would feel blessed that they were able to know the person that passed away for the short time that we all have on this earth. I would tell the family that one day they will think about the light that their loved one gave them, and it will enable them to live on. That they will think about the sound of their laughter, the sound of their anger even, the sound of their voice, the little things that would remind them. And while now there is sadness, I would say one day there will be joy and gratitude. How they will one day feel the joy that their loved one was a part of their lives, that they were able to feel the warmth of their light while they were here with us. Then I would say at that time, beloved, it will be those that did not know your loved one, that did not know the person that passed away, that will have to mourn because they never knew the joy